Welcome to Roguecast, the official podcast of Rogues Gallery. We'll talk comics for the week, as well as whatever news is on our pop cultural radar. I'm Randy.
I'm Nick.
This is Dave.
And now, on with the show.
All right, we now live in a post-weapons age, by which I mean we've all seen the movie Weapons.
That's true. And it is just possible that if you're not like a horror fan or don't get out to movie theaters too often, you might not know about this, but it's from the guy who made Barbarian.
Which again, you may not know about. I mean, everyone we know knows Barbarian and loves Barbarian.
Right.
But this is
it might be a little under the radar. It's a little more cult horror-y. But this is it's the kind of the writer-director is the guy from the old online internet sketch troupe Whitest Kids You Know.
We may have just named three things people don't know.
From the mid-2000s. Go catch those.
Yep.
But basically, he is following in the footsteps of Jordan Peele, I would say, making the comedy to horror transition.
Yep.
And I think we have found that he is proving worthy of that same sort of... Not that we have to pick a favorite or anything here, just that he's doing as good as Jordan Peele was.
No, you must pick a favorite right now.
All right, Peele.
Well, that was easy.
About that.
All right.
No, we're going to talk about that movie.
Yes. We're
going to try and avoid any of the bigger spoilers because it is a movie that has some neat twists and turns.
Yep, we don't want to spoil it for you.
And we won't do that.
Even if you want to spoil it for yourself, we're not going to enable you. We're not going to be part of your sick agenda to spoil yourself.
I can't believe you're trying to pull us in.
Why would you do that to us? Yeah. Hi, welcome to
Roguecast. where you're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
You, the listener, are in trouble.
Oh, no, we're just triggered so much trauma.
Oh, no.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, all the people with anxiety. They're like, what did I do? You know what you did.
You know what you did. All right.
But I do think that we all have... It is one of those very... It's a theatrical experience.
Yeah.
I somewhat compare it, as I did with Barbarian, to when I saw Pulp Fiction in the theater way back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
And in a good way.
Yep.
And
this is one of those movies you go to the theaters for.
It absolutely is. It's you want the crowd reaction, I think.
you do, for sure.
So we'll talk a bit more about
some other stuff, too. But first, we're going to talk about the games we got in this week.
Yeah.
And in addition to games, we got Beanie Bouncers.
It's true, we did.
I think we were all, once after they were ordered, a bit skeptical about these.
And then I was even more skeptical when we received the box, and we all three had to put the display together.
It took 3 men to put this. It was three men skilled at the art of IKEA.
That's true. It was a grueling hour of confusion, but it was put together.
To rid of the rack that they all go in.
And so the Beanie Bouncers are, in fact, made by Beanie Babies, guys, the official Thai Beanie Babies and everything. They are little, round, furry balls. Based on...
Got to be a way to put that.
Based on... pop cultural characters like Spider-Man and Bluey and Black Panther and all these. So you got Superman and Batman too.
Yep.
And an axolotl, which is doing extremely well.
It's like
one
axolotl left.
The big seller.
It's true.
They're very soft.
Yep.
They do bounce very nicely. They did not all fall off the shelf like I could have sworn they were going to.
If you have a younger brother, you could probably throw this at his head and get away with it.
Yes, I think so.
Might hurt.
Yeah, not so much that the parents are going to take notice.
Right, you'll be fine. Yeah, it's not going to leave a mark.
Because they'll hold it and they'll be like, it's so soft.
Yeah.
But
parents are fine with violence.
The Beanie Bouncers are pretty cool, actually.
Yep.
And I think we've all been pleased to see that they've been doing pretty well.
Yep.
They have not caused the commotion in the store that we thought they might.
We did worry about kids having a little war throwing them in our store. That has not happened.
So far, it hasn't happened yet.
Weapons.
They are weapons.
We have not had to fling any children about for manhandling them. They've been good.
We also got games, the thing we sell.
Yes.
Sure we did.
Tales of the Valiant, the Kobold 5e replacement. Yep. There's new Labyrinth Adventures, which is a book of adventures.
You say replacement, that's what they're hoping. It's a competitor. It's a rival.
Yes. I mean, it's their replacement.
Right. There was I think any of our gamers know this, but a few years back, people were quite upset with Wizards of the Coast because they were making some of those dumb moves that they do sometimes.
Yep.
But in the wake of that, a lot of game companies were like, let's make our D&D killer. And so everybody started working on proprietary D&D-esque systems.
Specifically companies that had been doing 5e compatible were threatened with the idea that their license might go away.
Right.
So they decided to make a license, something to use the open stuff that they couldn't get rid of and make their own 5e system that basically doesn't have any proprietary stuff in it.
And it has been interesting to see them rolling out mostly pretty good stuff.
Well, Kobold Press did famously some of the best 5e stuff.
Yeah. And so what's the new thing from Tales of the Valiant is their version?
Labyrinth Adventures is their new book that is all adventures.
Okay.
And then there's the GM Guide Pocket Edition, which they always do their pocket editions.
Oh, nice. Do you have any notion off the top of your head about the Labyrinth Adventures? What is that a meaningful thing there? I'll look it up. That's fine.
There's a board game called Catstronauts, which is based on the graphic novel series. Cats that are also astronauts.
Yep.
Citizens of the Spark, which is from Thunderworks, the people who do Role Player and some other games. This seems to be a card drafting tableau builder where you're kind of creating a society of anthropomorphic animals.
Okay.
Looks like fun. Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza, ridiculously large edition. This is a game where you're basically playing and you're like throwing down cards as fast as you can. It's a real-time game. This is a bigger version, so that, you don't have tiny hands. Please Don't Burn My Village is a game and not just a request. It is also a request. Please don't burn my village. But it's a card game based around you're getting treasures and you're trying to be the one to bribe the dragon the best so that he doesn't burn your village by the end of the game.
You said it was in the same
universe as
Castle
Panic.
Yeah,
which same company.
It's a really fun game.
Living Forest Duel, which is a 2-player game based on Living Forest, which honestly is a game I'm not familiar with.
Yeah.
I've seen it. It's from Pegasus Spiel. They make really good games. Message in a Bottle is a fun little party game that comes in a little bottle.
It's true, it does.
It's cool looking.
I believe has some like letter dice or something in it.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact mechanics, but it's really fun.
The components look really fun.
We got a game called Rumblebots, which I did not look deep into, but it's robot battles.
Sure.
That sounds fun.
And then the people who make Root, that asymmetrical war game with animals, they have a aquatic-based one called Ahoy, and they have made expansions for Ahoy called Rivals and Renegades and Fang and Fortune.
That's fun.
2 more expansions.
So it's little undersea kingdom battles? Sort of?
No, it's like piratey type.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Ahoy.
By the way, when you are ready, I looked up a little on Labyrinth Adventures.
Please, tell me of Labyrinth Adventures.
So the name itself is, in fact, just an evocative name. It doesn't have, there's no special...
There's no David Bowie in it.
No David Bowie. But there's 12 adventures for characters levels 1 to 8. And I was looking at the quick summations of the adventures, and some of these sound pretty cool.
Okay.
So here's the examples. Climb aboard a runaway train, hurtling between worlds in search of its lost inventor. Oh, it does build... This is kind of a multiverse adventure story.
That's kind of fun. Okay.
Pull off the ultimate heist and snatch an acorn off the world tree from a what's it say? From a devil's hall.
Okay.
Enter the halls of a dreaming god, confront powerful void angels, and more. Anyway,
it's fun.
These are some cool sounding concepts. Yep. And again, we know that Kobold Press does good stuff with that.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That sounds like pretty good.
Okay, let's talk about comics for the week. Start off with, it's kind of a mixed bag of weird stuff. There's a lot of indies and stuff like that.
Kind of weird in a kind of a cool way.
Yeah,
I want to say.
Not bad weird.
This is. Then are we going to talk about Superman?
So let's start with Superman: The Kryptonite Spectrum, which is by W.O. Maxwell Prince and Martin Morazzo, who are the creative team of Ice Cream Man, a sort of weird horror anthology that Image has been doing. I think they're like 9 or 10 volumes.
Yeah, it was a breakout success. Yep. And like a very potent cult book.
But not the creative team you would expect to be put on a Superman title.
Right. Nope. And real quick, like you mentioned horror, but also like sort of that Black Mirror vibe too.
For sure. Yeah.
Sort of a modern take, not necessarily a throwback to EC.
Right.
And it notably had like its own interesting kind of quirky art style.
Yep.
So you take those elements and you say to these guys, hey, can you do a Superman book? And it is Black Label, which, not because there's, I think, anything particularly risque, there's no swearing in this, but it is quirky and weird in a pretty cool way. The cover is very visually poppy. The Superman that is it Martin Morazzo? Is that how you say?
I believe so. Yep.
Yeah. Actually, it's Martin. I'm looking in there. There's a little accent.
Okay.
His Superman looks a little like Frank Whiteley's version from All Star Superman, if maybe a touch more cartoony. And he's splitting up into multiple little sort of oh my gosh, what do you call the color spectrum Superman, which fits the thing. The Kryptonite spectrum is in fact relates to the discovery of 4 new types of kryptonites by his Superman robots, which look kind of so weird and cool.
Yeah,
their bodies are in the shape of his S shield.
Yeah,
but they're drawn so cool. Like
this guy, Nick and I both talked about this offline.
Yeah.
This guy has a little bit of a Frank Whiteley sort of strange vibe to it. It's not Frank Whiteley, but you could compare it if you liked. I think if you liked All Star Superman, you will like this because this is the same kind of Silver Age weirdness.
Yes,
even more weird. But basically, Superman decides since there are 4 different types of kryptonite, he's going to try them on himself with Batman as his control. So that he can make sure that Luthor or someone else isn't going to hold on them.
Right. He's kind of it's a little dodgy, but kind of fun in Silver Age in the way it happens.
Yep.
He's kind of like, we do have to do this, and basically, instead of choosing the boring thing, like, oh, let's experiment on them over the next few years and see what they are, he's like, let's test them out. Batman, and Batman's like, I've got my little small bit of green kryptonite, so in case you get out of control, I can kill you.
Yep.
But they're kind of doing it as buddies.
There's also some fun stuff. Lex Luthor is like pushing Emil Hamilton, who sometimes is a Superman ally. They seem to have pushed him into a place of being like a Luthor
more
Tony.
villainous. Yeah, he's definitely... Luthor's harsh in this when he like talks about how he's going to fire him.
Yes.
And he's like, your 401k has already been zeroed out. And your office is being emptied as we speak. The pictures of your family, property of LexCorp, will be disposed of.
Yeah.
I'm like, what a piece of shit.
This is very much the Luthor of the movie.
Yeah. He is a cruel tech boss.
But most of this is Superman and Batman doing some kind of weird experimentation.
It seems like each issue will be a different kryptonite.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's some nice little touches here, but at some point Batman produces a calendar that is Calendar Man's calendar, which I liked.
I liked all the weird cuts in this. When Superman calls up Batman to like talk about this idea, Batman is taking out Professor Pig, which it fits that Morrison would be an influence on this. That was one of his villains. And there was a weird reference to Charlotte's Web in there. You remember this? Did y'all see this?
Yeah.
It's kind of filled with weird little moments like that, and then exactly what the kryptonite does, which has something to do with somewhat unsticking Superman in time.
Yeah.
Is pretty cool. There's another guest villain in it.
I really like this. I thought I liked this a lot more than I expected to. This probably is my pick of the week.
Yeah, I think the same here. It's weirder than I usually like my Superman.
Yeah.
But I think Grant Morrison did a good job of reminding us of kind of the fun of the Silver Age in the All-Star Superman.
It's also worth noting it is Black Label, so it's not continuity.
Right, sure.
And that helps when you do weird stuff.
Yep.
Also not in continuity, but also weird, Predator kills the Marvel Universe. This is the fourth series in the Predator versus series. They did a Predator versus Black Panther, Predator versus Wolverine, and Predator versus Spider-Man, which is still going on.
Although out of continuity, it is in its own continuity with those previous series.
All three of them are in continuity. This is the continuation of that, as a King Predator has his hands on vibranium, and they are being led by, I think I'm going to reveal, Craven the Hunter has become an official predator,
like an honorary predator. Yeah, which is a cool idea.
And he is using his expertise to help them hunt the Marvel Universe to extinction. And they start with a couple of notable groups, and the Predator kills them in imaginative ways.
It's some sort of higher level people than normally a Predator would be able to take on. But they're being sneaky about it. There's a King Predator, and Craven is kind of a sleazy, underhanded guy too.
He is.
But I like that he's not. He's definitely not joke. Sometimes he was just portrayed as a joke at times, or some writers fell back on that.
Right.
And he did, to be fair, even though he was in those very early Stanley Steve Ditko days. He's the most dangerous foe I've ever faced. Yeah. But he was also they really emphasized how underhanded he was, and that kind of the only way he could get ahead was to be underhanded. Now, ever since Craven's Last Hunt, they will sometimes give him this streak of honor and like real deadliness. And so that's the Craven we've got here. I think people are going to have fun with it.
Yeah, it was fun. Also fun, also weird. Uncle Scrooge, Earth's Mightiest Duck, a new miniseries from Jason Aaron and Mahmoud Asrar, and one other artist whose name I didn't recognize off the top of my head.
There's been like an alien invasion kind of thing of Earth.
Yep.
And these sort of robot servitors have seemingly cleaned out his whole vault when he goes down to check on it.
There's some timey-wimey stuff going on in here.
Yep, and some weirdness. And I actually really liked in the opening prologue, which I think is sort of a dream sequence. He begins narrating and he says, any story that starts with a dream is bound to be rubbish. And I know that I have definitely found I have frustration with kind of overly literal dreams and stuff like that in movies and books and comics. Yep. So I'm like, I'm with you, Uncle Scrooge. You're right. And then I was with him when he fought the robots.
This also does feature Donald Duck and Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Yep, classic DuckTales team-up kind of thing.
If you're a Duck fan, it is clear Jason Aaron is a Duck fan.
Oh, yeah.
This is pretty fun adventure stuff.
He should bring in the Beagle Boys.
He might.
They need the Beagle Boys to
the Beagle Boys were in his one-shot that he wrote.
But the thing is, they will team up with them. The threat is so dangerous that you must team with your enemies, even though they are thieving dogmen.
Valiant Beyond. Valiant Comics, this is their like 5th or 6th relaunch. I understand people are tired of it.
Yep.
But I love these characters, and I always want them to succeed. And this new one starts, it's going to have 4 books. It's going to be Bloodshot, Shadowman, Harbinger, and Exo Manowar.
And it seems like they'll all be, the blanket title, just almost like DC Rebirth, is Valiant Beyond.
Yep.
And then it's like Valiant Beyond Bloodshot, Valiant Beyond Harbinger, etc., etc.
This week is Bloodshot, which, for those of you who don't know, he is a guy who has nanites that make him basically unkillable.
He's
gives
their
him a healing
super
factor.
soldier / Punisher / But
yeah.
he's kind of, he is his own thing.
Well, the main thing to know is, like, the nanites make him unkillable.
Yep.
He's not like the Punisher that he doesn't have powers. He is a guy who is basically unstoppable. He's almost like more like a Terminator.
Yep. And I had to, I was reading this, and it's pretty cool. He can, through them, kind of like hack into nearby technology.
Yep. He can also change his shape, which was an interesting thing. That's a...
and it happens in a kind of a neat way in the beginning.
He's also got enhanced strength, speed, and endurance. Yeah, they get into where he gets his powers. Also, a thing that they've done with a lot of these versions, including this one, is that he gets his memory erased after every mission, so he actually doesn't know a lot about himself.
Right.
But in this one, he's fighting vampires.
Yeah.
Which is a twist. I did not see that one coming.
It is not just a quick throwaway vampire.
No, it's a whole...
This is a extended sort of... They think about them quite a bit because these vampires are vampires that have had an impact on the whole world already. Yep. When the story begins, they're a known thing where there's like a certain trendiness to them, almost the way Grant Morrison would start to think about mutants years ago.
Subsects of the vampires.
Different abilities,
Yeah.
There's also, the way he kills the last vampire is very Garth Ennis-y.
Yeah. Am I wrong, though? I don't remember Bloodshot being this kind of, not quippy, but...
No, this is different. It's also a different name.
Okay.
Like, I feel like this is a completely new Bloodshot.
Usually Bloodshot is a very kind of morose, stoic.
Yeah. This guy has a little more of a sense of humor.
This has a sense of humor, a sense of playfulness.
I don't think Garth Ennis is a bad comparison. When Garth Ennis was doing Punisher, to go back to Dave's Punisher thing, I think this feels a little bit like that.
And this has a really good ending.
Great twist at the end where I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see where this is going.
Yeah, it seems like they're taking inspiration and obviously names, powers, and some of the concepts from classic Valiant stuff. But it also looks like they're going to be letting the writers cut loose a bit.
Yeah.
And I did notice, I think for me at least, was this the first time they've done a Valiant book that carried an R rating as far as just like...
No, they did that in the previous runs too.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go.
But yeah, this is... I was nervous this would be another one of these, like, not quite grabbing me, but so far, if this is where they're going, I'm interested in seeing where Valiant goes.
Yeah.
We've got another one from a small press called Midnight Factory. Joseph Schmalke's We Don't Kill Spiders, Season of the Witch. Long title. What are you, James Tinian?
I was reading this, and I felt like there had been a story that had happened before.
Agree. It does kind of feel like that. Maybe there was. Maybe we just...
and it went under our radar.
But it doesn't... You can easily pick up on it.
Because it follows this... It's set in sort of the Viking era.
Yep.
And it follows this guy who's like sort of an investigator.
Yep.
Who is kind of teamed up with a necromantic sort of witch woman.
Yep.
And they're sort of tasked to go on this mission. What have there been strange murders and disappearances lately?
Yep.
Something maybe supernatural, and this local jarl asks them to go look into it for him. And they go on a mystery, but it's kind of a cool investigatorial X-Files-y thing in Viking times.
Yep.
They show up at this place, and she's like, you think they're just going to let us in? And he's like, well, these people believe that we could be Odin and Frigga or whatever walking amongst humans. Of course, they have to show us hospitality.
Right.
So there's kind of fun lore for the era if you like that kind of stuff, and something different.
Yeah.
Randy, you reminded me years back in the previous incarnation of Valiant, they had one that was kind of set apart from their normal heroes. That was about a guy in ancient Rome who was an investigator into supernatural stuff, and it was really good. And this reminded me of that. I don't know if I liked it quite as much as that, but it's good. It's a promising kickoff. And if they have done other ones, then we might look into those, see if there's a good collection or something.
No, they're not available. All the old Valiant stuff is gone.
No, I'm talking about the Viking people.
Yeah. We'll have to see. But it's a good first issue.
Yep.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers TMNT 3.
Yep.
This is the same writer who's been writing it. I think maybe the same artist.
My understanding is that the previous miniseries, the villainous Rita Repulsa and Krang had teamed up.
Yep.
This time it is Lord Zed and
Shredder.
And the Shredder, Lord Zedder.
Yep. If you ever want to see Bebop and Rocksteady with Zords, or whatever they are.
Yeah, you know what? That's
Zords are scrapped.
These crossovers have been all, like, I haven't read this one yet, but... Like, they always seem to be they seem to be better than they should be lately.
Yeah,
and they seem to be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Ever since Tom Taylor did that Justice League Power Rangers one, and none of us are necessarily Power Rangers people, but I was like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's
fun.
Good.
Some number 2s this week. Fantastic Four number 2, which we all liked the first issue.
Yeah, that was one where they were...
I enjoyed the
second team
one.
was unstuck in time, and
also this wraps number 2. The
nice.
time story is like wrapped, and they're going back to more of Doctor Doom based. I mean, I guess it's not entirely. There's still more to go on, but they do wrap up the big question of like
in time.
Yeah, to some extent.
Very cool. I need to read it.
Gotham by Gaslight: League for Justice number 2. Really enjoyed the first series. 6 issues were all about putting together this sort of steampunk Justice League. Now they're together and we're seeing them fighting and get a little more info on what exactly this Krypton did, which I thought was interesting.
Yep.
Really good and really nice art by Leandro Fernandez.
So remind me, is this set in America at this point?
Yes.
Okay. And what year-ish? Is it like
1800s? I don't know. It's the Old West kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
The Unchosen by David Marquez. We all like the first issue of this, which is sort of post-apocalyptic superhero kind of thing.
It was one of those ones where we liked it, but we were kind of like... we had read a premise on it, and we're like, oh, they said it's post-apocalyptic, and it wasn't even that clear. But I think that was kind of part of the mystery.
Yeah.
Speaking of post-apocalyptic superheroes, Giant Size X-Men number 2 wraps up the story where Legion and Miss Marvel have been traveling through time, one of them trying to not have the other one reset the timeline.
Correct.
And this is going to lead, I think, in some way into Age of Revelation.
Yep.
But it also is just a standalone story that wraps up here.
Yep.
Bring on the Bad Guys Red Skull is the penultimate issue of the Bring on the Bad Guys one-shots.
Series of linked one-shots, yeah.
Featuring villains.
These have been pretty good. Is it all written by Mark
No,
Guggenheim?
different writers.
Okay.
Stephanie Phillips does the lead story in this one.
So, they have. I haven't liked all of them quite as much as that first one, which was Doom himself, was it, in that one?
I believe that's right, yeah.
But there is an overall good bit of quality to these.
Yeah,
so if you would like to see some one-shots that are connected and telling an overall bigger story too, but of Marvel's iconic early villains, this is pretty. You could do worse.
Supergirl number 4. Really enjoying Sophie Campbell's Supergirl.
The
fun
vibe
stuff
on this has been pretty unique because it is clear that Sophie Campbell had a love of like the kind of like Silver Age and even early Bronze Age Supergirl stuff, and wanted to have a little bit of that lightness. Kind of her having sort of fun adventures around town, but not like the heaviest consequences. There's almost a little bit of almost like Archie lightness at times, like some of the character stuff, but also like Sophie Campbell's art was great in it.
Yeah.
And does Supergirl go to a rave or something in this?
It's a goth club. There's a goth club in Midvale.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
X-Men number 20, which is, I think we're all been kind of enjoying Jed McKay's X-Men.
Yep. There is actually, I'm not in love with his FBI guy that Cyclops is butting heads with.
He's not FBI, he's O.N.E.
He's FBI-esque. But they get into both a fist and verbal fight in this one.
Yep.
And there's some good bits in it. I was liking that. I like the downtime basketball game between Glob and whoever that is talking. There's some of that kind of good downtime stuff in this issue. There's a little bit of some of the romance going on among the characters. But yeah, it's been pretty good.
Eddie Brock Carnage. Continue to enjoy this book against all odds.
Yep. Remind me, is that Charles Soule's one?
Yes. Yeah. And he brought in his muse, his villain from his Daredevil run.
Yep.
Transformers 23, which is the second to last, the penultimate issue of Daniel Warren Johnson's run. Lots of fighting and war.
This is the one that kind of has a little bit of almost like his take on some of the big battle sequences of Transformers the movie.
Yeah, it is. This is exactly what it is.
And there's a few direct call-outs to it, but it's clear that he's going to be doing his take on it.
This is Prime versus Megatron.
Yep. But also big stuff for who's this guy? Ultra Magnus.
Yep. He was always a favorite design. I liked him as a kid. I still like him. this is an interesting take on that character, that he's kind of given him PTSD.
For sure, because he literally was like tortured by the Decepticons and stuff. Am I correct that these sequences with Optimus, he's talking to Sparkplug?
He's in the Matrix.
He's in the Matrix.
He's in the Matrix, but like because this guy died, right?
Yeah, well, so did Optimus.
Right.
Optimus is in the
Right. There's an interesting
he's
sort
in, like,
of
the spirit realm
thing of them. Yeah,
the robot spirit realm.
They're in the robot spirit realm. That's correct.
I want to mention Quick Stops 3 #1, which is the
Kevin Smith's
yes
series. Where he spotlights different eras of the View Askew universe.
This goes back to Chasing Amy.
Yeah.
What else did I miss?
This is it.
I only have one other book. It's the finale to the first book of Bug Wars. Jason Aaron and Ezra's. But I'm glad to see that they're going to do more.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Let's see. I haven't read it yet, but is this the finale to the Star Wars Jedi Knight story?
Could be. I don't know.
We've been following that, though.
Yeah, I fell off it.
It's been good. I actually found like it was a series that I may buy the trade for because there was only one issue that slightly put me off, and even that I kind of liked enough of.
Yeah.
Let's see. Third issue, I think, of Mark Waid's Action Comics, a.k.a. the Superboy Smallville type stories.
Yep.
This one is interesting. Randy, did you by chance read this?
No.
There is a character that shows up that is like a DC, I guess, Silver Age character, Captain Comet.
Okay.
In Smallville.
Now, Captain Comet was in Legion in the 90s.
I forgot that.
Legion 89.
Okay, yeah, I didn't read that.
He's an old school Silver Age character.
Yeah, he shows up in this, and he like knows that Clark is this, nascent. How do you say that word? That the word I mean though.
Yep.
Superboy, and he's like, hey, you got to be careful. He's like, I've seen these things get out of control, but he himself is acting kind of suspicious. Like he meets his parents and stuff like that, and they're like, oh yeah, we read about your adventures. You were a hero back in the day, and there's an interesting mystery going on with what exactly is going on with him. So I liked that. There's a new Space Ghost comic, or just a new miniseries, I guess.
Oh, okay.
And then there's they did I think a facsimile type reprint, or maybe it's just a reprint of. Was this the first Harley Quinn story in the DC universe?
Yes.
It was.
That was written by Paul Dini. It wasn't during No Man's Land, was it? I feel like it was almost during some event or another.
I feel like it was No Man's Land, actually.
It may be.
I think it is.
There was like some stuff that seemed like it could be No Man's Land, even though I was just flipping through it. Anyway, but it's got that iconic Alex Ross cover of Joker and Harley, and Joker's wearing like a tuxedo and they're dancing.
Like tangoing.
From back in the day. So if you would like to, if you're interested in that earliest appearance, that's it.
This is the first week in a while that we didn't have an absolute single issue.
I know, it's true.
But
we do have Absolute Wonder Woman Volume 1 in trade and hardcover.
Which is the best of the Absolute titles.
Agreed.
I agree. I was just telling somebody about it the other day, and I think that's going to be at least my favorite of the first wave of trades.
Yep.
There's
I think it's my favorite of all of them.
A lot of quality going on throughout the whole line. This just happens to be the ones that hit us best.
Yep. We've got the Avengers Veracity Trap, which is from Abrams, not Marvel. It's a licensed deal.
Yep.
But it's by designer Chip Kidd, who has done. He did the Batman animated series book and a lot of other things.
And a really amazing coffee table book. He's a book designer.
He's a designer, yeah.
And then the art is by Michael Cho, who does one of that kind of great retro art style. If you want to think Bruce Timm,
Darwin Cook.
Yep. Nick, years back, you got that Fantastic Four thing that Alex Ross did.
Yeah,
that special.
Full Circle.
And this is kind of one of those sort of unique specials, like an original hardcover.
Yep.
It's a throwback thing. Like it's for if you liked 60s era Avengers and the way like a Darwin Cook would draw them. It's got that and a little bit of meta narrative where I think it's like the writer and artist, I think, somewhat imagine themselves as kids. Hearing this story, maybe even arguing over what did or didn't happen and stuff like that. And but man, I look at some of the preview art online. It is insanely good. It's got a lot of Marvel's monsters in it, like Gugam and Fook and Fang Foom and stuff like that.
Yep.
And like the way Michael Cho draws the old Iron Man with the kind of the pointed helmet and stuff like that, so cool.
Yep. We also have Batman Year 3, the Deluxe Edition. It's been a while since it's been in print. This is the first appearance of Tim Drake.
Yeah,
I believe called Lonely Place of Dying, or is that a separate story?
Man, I can't remember.
I think it's a separate story.
I did buy all these as they were coming out. I know. I think it
leads into Lonely Place of Dying.
on Dick Grayson. I think was
You're
trying
right.
to. he wanted to get revenge on Zuko, the guy who had found out was the one who had cut the wire or whatever that killed his parents.
Yes.
Had covers by George Perez, although the interiors were somebody else, like Jim Aparo or one of those other kind of artists. But yeah, it's a good slice of Batman from like the '90s era.
Yeah, you're right. It's definitely based on Batman, early Dick Grayson, kind of what they're doing right now with Batman and Robin Year One, just a different take on it.
Yep.
But it has a lot to do with whether or not Zuko is going to get released, and it does introduce Tim Drake for the first time.
On. That's cool.
And then Spoops, The Little Spirits of Halloween.
Very adorable book.
Yeah.
It's like kind of, I can't remember, is it a graphic novel or is it done in more of a kid's picture book?
It's more of a
style?
kid's picture book, I think.
Yeah, but if you want to kind of gently ease them in to some spooky Halloween stuff in a very light way, it's a little bit like, what's that cartoon that had this sort of spooky but not too spooky thing? Over the Garden Wall.
Oh, okay.
Over the Garden Wall was very Halloween-y, but not like super scary. Just a little slightly macabre.
Yeah. All right. Okay, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to talk a couple pieces of news, and then a bunch of movies and shows. All right, just a couple bits of news. There's not a lot this week. There's no San Diego Comic-Con or Gen Con, so there's nothing happening.
Right.
But an actor, Todd Stashwick, who was in Picard, and it's
very
clearly
memorable character at playing a kind of a pain in the ass captain.
But is clearly a super nerd. He's one of these guys who definitely...
he played D&D before he was ever cast in Star Trek or anything like that.
Yeah.
He is a real nerd.
He posted a picture of Paladin, the Marvel character Paladin.
You could be forgiven for not knowing.
A D-lister that I think we all have a fondness for.
Correct.
I have an action
And he basically announced that he is going to be Paladin in Vision Quest, the Vision TV series that's
Very
happening.
cool. He's a good fit for it, I think.
Yep.
Paladin is traditionally a bit of a mercenary with a heart of gold, would you say?
And a little bit of a rogue, yes.
Yeah, he's got like a purple costume, which is, I always thought cool.
Part of the charm.
Kind of padded armor. He carried a pistol and stuff like that, but it might have been like a laser gun or
It
something.
is it's like a stun gun.
Yeah. And I know that when I first came across the character, probably in the late 70s or early 80s, I was like, this dude looks cool.
Yep.
And yeah, because he was a little bit more of a, like you said, rogue, he kind of felt like a little bit cooler than those square heroes.
Also, I believe Paladin, in true nerd form, the nerds were into whatever pulp culture it was, he is based on Have Gun Will Travel.
Oh, that makes
like
sense.
Western
thing,
which is a super deep cut from a show called Have Gun Will Travel.
Yep.
Paladin is the lead. This show from 1957, some dude in the 70s, some comic writer in the 70s, like, you know what was cool? This show nobody's ever heard of.
Didn't they talk about that in Stand By Me?
Maybe.
I think they might have even sung the theme song. Because I feel like
they did. Yes.
I know the song because it goes, Have Gun Will Travel, reads the card of a man.
Yep.
Yeah.
A Night Without Armor in a Savage Land.
Yeah. So somehow we do know it. It has managed to come around
because
through
Stephen
pop
King
culture.
is also a weird old dude.
Yep. Anybody who grew up in the 50s and 60s was fixated on that.
But now we're the weird old dudes who know Paladin is a purple guy with a stun gun.
That's correct.
So, it's come full circle.
Have Zap Gun Will Travel.
And now everyone's going to be introduced to this character in Vision Quest.
Yep.
And they'll be like, some weirdo in the 70s liked this purple-clad guy. And I'm like, no, the weirdo was the 57 guy from the 57. That's weird. Not normal like my obsession.
We are the weirdos, mister.
Anyway, I'm super excited. I think he's a good casting, and I think that's a character I never thought I was going to see.
Yeah, no.
So
Stashwick is good at playing, I think, a roguish type. I think
for sure. He's going to be perfect for it.
Mix.
Zach Krager, we talked about him at the top of the show. As a reminder, he did Barbarian, Weapons, Whitest Kid You Know.
Yep.
Is going to be doing Resident Evil next.
Yep.
Yeah. This is an interesting fit because so far his two movies have essentially been like good indie horror movies.
Yes.
Yeah. Original ideas.
And you would not think, this is a guy who's going to take over a franchise thing that's kind of known as being schlock. Fun schlock, perhaps, but schlock. And yet, that is exactly what he's doing. And Nick, you said he's like already written some other original projects, so he's not like, now I'm going to go and make mainstream blockbusters or anything like that.
No, he definitely wants to do his own thing, and this is going to be his own thing in the Resident Evil universe.
It's not like I think going to be all about like who are the named characters in that? Jill and Wesker and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know. He may use some parts of that.
Yeah.
There's almost certainly going to be, either Raccoon City or the, what is it, Star is like the secret SWAT type thing that they are. But I am incredibly curious about it. I feel like I don't know what tone he'll take, because we talked about this off mic. Resident Evil kind of has two main tones. There's this somewhat campy original ones that it was for like 10, 15 years at least.
Yep.
Maybe 15 or 20 years.
Yep.
And then there's the kind of really dark, almost, what do you call it, exploitation, grindhouse style of the last several that have had like the first-person perspective and feel like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Mm-hmm. I don't know where he'll land in there, but I know that his horror movies always have streaks of humor in them.
Yep.
And yet there's like smartly written and tend to, we'll talk about this a little bit more when we get to weapons, but they like let the audience make connections in some cool ways. And I was like, this may be the first time I've been looking forward to a Resident Evil movie since maybe the first one came out and disappointed me.
Yeah, fair.
And I don't think he's going to disappoint me.
No,
I don't think so either. So, speaking of, let's put up a spoiler barrier. We're not trying to spoil everything, but still, like, go in without knowing if you can.
Yeah, weapons, if you are a horror person at all, you should just absolutely see it. It is not, like, super scary. It's not going to, like, scare the pants off you, but it is suspenseful. It has a cool mystery. It has great characters and an interesting structure to it.
Yeah.
So you should just go see it.
But also, like Barbarian, it is a little unnerving. It's not scary, but it is unnerving.
It can be scary if you're not. There's some jump scares.
There are some jump scares.
Yeah. And a lot of WTF moments, but I think we would like pretty wholeheartedly recommend it along with Barbarian.
Yep.
They are experiences.
Yep, for sure. All right, let's talk weapons.
Okay.
So the trailer gave this much away. We can say the premise basically is that at 2:17 a.m., 17 kids.
Yes.
Is it like 17 kids?
Oh, no, 217, but it was like 20 kids or something
20,
like that.
Okay. It is like 20 kids, all but one kid from this kindergarten class?
No, they're a little older than that.
Yeah, it's like second grade.
Second grade, yeah, you're right. Second grade class. They all open their doors and run out into the night and vanish.
Yeah.
Right. And the little sort of ring cams and a few security cameras and things like that capture it show the kids running in this very peculiar, exact same style where they have their arms out to the side, almost like, oh, you're flapping your arms like wings or something like that. But they're just not flapping, they're just sticking out.
They're like airplane wings.
And they clearly, it's like they're compelled or something. Nobody's coercing them. Yeah. They just go running out into the night and they disappear. And when the story begins, it's been a month. They have not been found. Nobody knows anything about what happened. But the fact that they were all kids from one particular class, one homeroom, and that there was both one kid who stayed, who showed up for school the next day, and then the teacher of that class,
who's a young teacher,
means that there is a lot of suspicion on them.
Right. Yep. And so it starts with her. It's Julia
Garner.
Julia Garner. What's her character's name?
Justine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who we find out is maybe has a bit of a drinking problem and some personal boundaries and
so she is the kind of person who would easy to cast suspicion on because she's already she actually, when you see her teaching, she seems to be doing a good job and she does try and connect with the kids.
Yeah.
But she's got some issues.
Yeah.
And so there's early on you'll see a kind of a school meeting where they're kind of talking and trying to work through their grief and stuff like that. But the people in there are still pissed, and they think she's holding back
secrets. It becomes a mob scene very quickly.
Yep. Yeah. Benedict Wong, who plays the principal, amazing work in this, is kind of trying to protect her, get the town to move forward. The police, likewise, are like, oh, we've looked at everything we can. There's just not any leads. And they talk to the kid extensively, the one kid who showed, who just was like, I don't know anything about why they would do this. I don't know any TV show that said to do this or where it happened that might have given him the idea. Yeah. And he's very tight-lipped about it. And the way the story is structured is, 10 or 15 minute or 15 or 20 minute segments focusing on about 5 or 6 people in and around who play a role in this.
Yeah, so this is the Barbarian did this too. It starts with 2 people at an Airbnb.
Yeah, and then
it cuts to basically a completely different movie starts.
Yes.
Just as things are getting weird and intense, a new movie starts that's almost like it's weird. It's a weird.
You're like, is this it? Literally, when I saw this, I was like, "Am I watching the right movie? Did something glitch?"
But this one is
not quite that. So Josh Brolin's character, who we see in the first.
Well, just real quick to complete your thought, in Barbarian, the 2 stories do meet up.
They do, yes,
and that you will see something similar happening.
So this is something similar because yes, it is a different point of view. It's Josh Brolin's angry dad we cut to seeing his point of view, and we see a lot of the same events through the same eyes. And then we see the...
It's clever, though, because he doesn't, like, show any... When you... Sometimes we'll see an event you already know, you get, like, just snippets of it so that you're not, like... It's not like that Star Trek where they repeat and you see the same thing with only a small change.
Yeah.
But you get a different perspective and see where that story
Each
leads.
story kind of adds something to the narrative, and you're like, oh, I didn't realize that this was going on.
It's a one big story. It's just told in weird, in kind of segments that intersect.
It's very strong
Principal
storytelling.
Benedict Wong, his character gets a segment.
Yep.
A kind of a guy who's like this clearly kind of drifter meth head sort of dude gets a storyline. There's a cop who is a storyline, and they intertwine in a fascinating way. I feel like there's real laughs in this that are like funny or sometimes uneasy funny.
Yep.
And then there's some great scares and twists and turns. Like, I just enjoyed almost every scene in it.
Yeah.
There's no point.
And also, like, when you're watching a horror movie like that, you're trying to kind of figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And I could not at any point figure out, like, oh, I think it's this. Oh, it's not quite that. And, like...
I'm not going to say what happens, but there's some amazing WTF moments in this.
Yeah.
The one where this the teacher who's got some issues, she has followed somebody to their house, and she in her like soda cup, she's got liquor in there, and she kind of like passes out at night, kind of staking it out. And there's this scene, and then suddenly the door to the house opens up. She is still clearly passed out in her car, and somebody comes out, and they're just holding like a knife or something in the shadows you can't quite see.
Yeah.
And they come shuffling almost like the Men in Black dude.
The walk is really creepy and effective.
Right up to the car, and I don't want to say what happens next because it's weirder. It's a little weirder than you think.
Yep.
Krieger has an interesting eye for just framing a scene. Like he usually will. It's like pans, and I love how it's shot. Like when
there's a scene, in a liquor store where that same teacher is picking up something. And somebody is following her, sort of, but the camera is on her. And so as she zigzags between aisles, making a beeline for her... What is it she drinks?
It's vodka.
Vodka? Yeah. Making a beeline to her vodka. Only the camera kind of stays on her, so you only occasionally catch glimpses of the person who's following her, but you're aware of it, but she's not. Yeah. And so it creates this tension, and it's also filmed in a kind of a cool and unique way.
Yeah.
And they slip out of view sometimes, and you're like, what is happening?
There's a lot of dolly cam work and over-the-shoulder ones. Very, very interesting camera styles that I was really taken with.
And I think we would all say the reveals and payoff are cathartic and fascinating.
Yeah.
Like, the last 15 minutes or so are wild.
It's true.
Yeah, and I don't think there's much more we can say, right?
No, I think we've covered... People should go see this.
You should go see this, without a doubt.
Unless you don't like horror. And then I would suggest
and
this
then
might
you should
be
still go see it with the lights on.
Right. It is a... without saying too much, the very fact that kids are missing and in danger and their parents grieving over it, if any of those are kind of triggers for you, be cautious, because that is kind of recurring thematic in this.
Yep.
And it can be a little intense at times. But if you can remember it's a movie and enjoy that sort of stuff, just quite the ride.
It's true.
Nick, you and I were going to talk about Megan 2. And 3gan 2.
M3gan 2.
Which had been pilloried in online reviews I'd seen.
I noticed, like, the director, or Jason Blum from the studio, kind of apologized for it. He said, we misread the audiences.
And I think that's weird, because I watched this, and I'm like...
Well, he said that audiences wanted like another sort of horror sequel, and what they did was something different. And you can tell me, how different is it from the first one?
I mean,
it's pretty different.
It basically removes the horror and adds kind of an action sci-fi bit
but there's still some creepy stuff. But it's not a horror thing.
I knew just from the trailers that the sort of killer AI intelligent Megan sort of doll, she's like, if you saw the first movie, was a sort of a companion bot for a girl who became murderously protective and dangerous on her own, that they in this kind of have to reactivate her because there is some other murder bot that's more dangerous something.
So this starts with Amelia, a weapon from some corporation, basically. That has sent Amelia in to as a proof of concept for the U.S. government, United States government, and she basically goes in and infiltrates this It's in the Middle East.
It is.
And she's supposed to be recovering this weapons scientist?
I believe, but she ends up...
And this is
This
a robot?
is the opening, yes.
Yeah,
This
is a new robot. And
Amelia. That's her name.
More kind of human or more realistic?
Basically the same.
Okay.
I mean, she's a little more human, I guess.
She's not a doll, doll
She's not a doll size, you're right.
She's actually human size.
But anyway...
Megan
But she's
in
like
the
an
original
infiltrated
movie
unit.
kind of looked like she was like 12 or something.
Yeah. No, this is a woman. They set her up as if she is a journalist who's been caught.
Right.
And then after they think they've shot her dead, she gets up and goes after this.
Right.
And, like, takes them all out and then kills the person she's supposed to rescue, and she's gone off book.
Oh.
And they realize that, she's trying to, like, destroy the world or something.
Okay.
And Megan's creator has hooked up with this guy who is a sort of a tech... kind of an anti-tech bro almost. He's still a tech bro, but they're talking about responsible technology and how it shouldn't be used, for the way it's been used and that kind of thing. And somehow these FBI guys or whatever think that the creator of Megan was involved in the creation of this rogue Amelia.
Right, because like the coding was used to make Amelia was Megan.
Yeah. And so she's being hunted by these FBI guys. She's also being hunted by Amelia, and she winds up having to bring Megan's code back online to protect herself and her daughter.
That sounds like a pretty cool premise.
It's a good premise.
It doesn't sound like it's not these sort of, the original one was kind of like there was a creepy, weird AI possessed type doll in my house, and was overtly horror. But as premises go to like kind of push it along, that actually sounds pretty.
I thought this was and the trailer promised exactly what we got.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a little bit more goofy. They really hate each other, Megan and the Allison Williams character, Gemma. But they need each other. She has her two hapless lab assistants.
Who's Gemma?
Gemma is the woman who created Megan.
Who created her? Okay, created Amelia.
Katie
created Megan.
Created Megan.
The original person. The original lead.
That's the same cast.
It's the same cast.
Right, but I thought you were naming some villain or something like that.
The villain is named Amelia.
Okay, yeah, that's the only villain.
Yeah,
gotcha.
No, it's not. There's other villains, and that's my problem with the movie. When I got to it, about the third act, and they had the third or fourth twist as to who the bad guy was, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of lost as to what's actually going on now, and maybe you went a little too far.
Yeah.
Because there's a twist revealing that, oh no, this is the villain, and then it's like, oh no, it's actually not, it's this villain. And I'm like, you know what? This is maybe a little complicated for your dumb robot movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think they swung a little too hard, and they could have scaled it back just a little bit. But there was enough here that
lots
I really
of fun
enjoyed.
Fight sequences, lots of fun jokes.
I thought Jermaine Clement
plays a tech bro who has implanted himself with stuff so he can walk. And he is very much playing a swaggering fuckboy.
He is hilarious.
He's really funny.
I always like him as an actor.
Like you said, comedian. The action sequences are good.
Yeah.
It's a solid time.
Is Megan still kind of like at least kind of somewhat comically homicidal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I was expecting this to be a train wreck from the reviews.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's a ton of fun. It's not as good as the first.
They basically put like a governor module on her so she won't like rampantly kill people.
Right. Yeah. I assume there was some
even
control.
That leads to some fun
ways around,
and just good like back and forths with the characters, and that's kind of all I really wanted.
I imagine I might enjoy it a little bit more going in knowing this is the deal.
I think that's probably. I'm kind of glad I didn't see it in the theater. I don't think this is necessarily a theatrical experience.
Right.
But it's fun. I watched it. I was glad I watched it. Governor module leads into our next thing, Murderbot. Did you all talk about that last week?
We did.
Okay. And I was trying not to listen because I had not. I mean, not that I really had spoiled. I've read all the books.
Yeah.
But I decided to go ahead and binge it. And I will say, as someone who's read like 3 or 4 of the books, I think the books are considerably stronger. But this is a fun, sort of a slightly more comedic take on it.
Yeah.
I think my biggest issue with it is they're in the books. The collective that goes to this other planet, they're a little naive as far as like what the real world is like, but they're all competent scientist adventurer basically types.
A little more goofy in the show.
So I think that whoever wrote the show is like, oh, there's hippies. They're not hippies, they're just like it's like the idea of like, oh, what if there was a successful, peaceful, socialist collective planet?
But that's the elevator pitch.
And people are like, well, socialism can be funny, but it can't be effective. And so these dudes are all like weird hippies. Like Rati is definitely more of a himbo goofball.
Yep.
The female scientists are all a little bit off. Mensa's the closest one to what's in the books.
There is like they literally sometimes have like in the movie or in the show like held hands and kind of like chanted and stuff like that.
And that shit does not happen in the
Does it
books.
not?
No.
You sure you didn't just forget about it?
I am pretty sure.
Okay.
It's definitely not presented that way. They were not presented as this kind of weird hippie-ish thing.
So what I liked about the way that they were presented in the show was that they kind of they have the same goofiness that I saw in the first episode, and I was like, oh, this is going to be like some kind of weird right-wingish thing where that's like anti-hippie or anti.
No,
they're
genial toward it.
But yes, you kind of warm up to them though the same way Murderbot does over time.
It is presented as, aren't these guys kind of wacky? What they're doing polyamory? Look how messed up that is, and all of that is. But in the books.
I do think that like over time, like over a few episodes, it's less wacky.
It is, but it's always presented a little wackier than it is in the books.
Okay.
In the books, it is like an alternate relationship structure and an alternate government structure, this kind of thing. It wasn't just, look how wacky this is. And I think that I didn't quite like that. And also, I think one of the big gags is that Murderbot is viewing everything they do as these humans are stupid. Mm-hmm. And in the show, he's usually right. And in the books, it's more that Murderbot is sort of spectrum coded and doesn't understand the idea of like doing something to emotionally help someone, or because it's the right thing for them to do, no matter how dangerous it is. To him, he's like, the math on this doesn't work. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And I think that doesn't carry... It's in the show, it doesn't carry across as well as the books. Which, by the way, this all makes it sound like I didn't like the show. Yeah. I did like the show quite a bit. I just think the books are stronger, and I think if someone's coming in from the books, they should know that they did make some notable, like, tone changes. And story changes. But that said, I thought the ensemble cast was really strong. I think the casting for Murderbot was about perfect.
Yeah, Skarsgård.
I think some of the action stuff is really, really good.
I thought David Dastmalchian,
he's really good.
His name was really good in it.
Yeah, they definitely made him almost like a half Murderbot. He's got some of the same emotional distance.
Right.
And of course
he is both the one who is most suspicious of him and in some ways closest to him because he has those cybernetic implants and is himself, I would say, spectrum coded.
Yeah, for sure. I also did love Sanctuary Moon, the show that Murderbot is obsessed with.
Who's the who's the actor?
John Cho,
who
and,
plays the lead.
Clark Gregg.
Yes.
And from 30 Rock.
What's his name as like the navigator?
Yeah, Jack
McBrayer.
McBrayer,
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, and I like that they actually shot some of that.
So you're gonna watch the second season? Or no?
For sure. Okay. No, my favorite character shows up in book 2, and I'm looking forward to seeing.
Right.
So yeah, I'll definitely watch season 2. The other thing I got to, which I think you guys also talked about last week, was K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh yeah. But I had just watched it,
and you had just seen bits and pieces randomly.
I saw a little bit of it because my kid was watching it, and I fell asleep. No reflection on the show. I was tired.
Right.
So this
you and Nick were both telling me that the songs were real catchy and stuff like that. Yep. And so, I ended up watching it with my roommate, and
I watched it all the way through last night.
And and we talked about it last week. I had quite a good time. Or did we talk about it?
I talked about it. You guys kind of just
so that was at a time when I hadn't seen it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So now that we've all seen it, I mean, there's a reason this is like a phenomenon right now.
Yeah.
I will say, I think when I rated it on Letterboxd on their 5-star scale, I think it was like a 3.5 for me.
Yours was 3.5, so was mine. Nick gave it a 4.
I did.
Yep. And, it is a very enjoyable 3.5 stars.
Dave, I do have to know, did you put a heart on it?
I think I did.
Okay, well then. See, we have a spectrum usually. Someone loves it, someone likes it, someone hates it.
Right.
I also give it 3.5 stars.
In fact, we don't usually have that, but that is how we present.
That's our gag, yes.
That's our gag.
I gave it 3.5 stars and a heart, so I don't know, did we both like it and no one hated it? Is this the first thing?
I think so.
No one hates?
I think so.
Oh, crazy.
The first ever thing we've not hated.
Exactly.
But yeah. So you talked about it a bit, Nick. That's got the animation style that was a little reflective of sort of, I would say, current, the more modern style of animation, which is a little bit of the Spider-Verse.
I mean, it's Sony Pictures doing it.
And not quite as out there as that, right?
No,
it's still more TV movie budget, but really good.
It's really good.
Great character designs.
Yeah.
And so you have a literal K-pop trio of girls who
they're generational demon hunters. They showed.
Yes.
I'd love to see more of that. They're originally they were like bards in ancient Japan.
There's a cool flashback.
They show an 80s group and a 70s group and
and called what are they? Huntrix.
Yep.
And amidst their monster hunting, One of them has a deep, dark secret that she is, in fact, part demon.
She is half demon.
And this is sort of comes into play as they go up against a boy band that are, in fact, part of a demonic scheme to challenge them and... usurp their popularity.
And in so doing, destroy the shield keeping demons from inhabiting the earth.
One of the things I liked most about it was that the trio of girls are shown kind of being goofy, cool, fun kids a lot. And in fact, even though, they're kind of all animation pretty, they're also like goofy face. They eat all the time. They're like, they want to hang out on the couch and like eat ramen, or like there's actually lots and lots of delicious looking Korean food.
That's
right. And and they have lots of like goofy in jokes, and they have this sense of people who've traveled around. They really like their fans. There's not quite any of the, I would say, intensity of like what it would be like to be in a real K-pop band. This is an idealized, fun fantasy of it.
Their manager Bobby is voiced by Ken Jeong, which I did not catch until.
Who is that?
You'd know him from much. He's in Community. He's been,
I know the Community guy.
And then the tonic. They go to her. One of the leads, the half demon, is having trouble with her voice. So they go to someone for tonics.
Kind of a alternate medicine guy.
He's kind of a quack doctor, basically. And that is voiced by Daniel Day Kim, I think.
Yes, it is. From Lost and other stuff.
There's some funny stuff in that. There's a bit where she decides, she's like, I'm going to probably tie the tonic. She's been, every time she says the name of the girl who took him there. I don't remember which one it is. But she's like, ugh. And so she's like, I'm going to try this tonic. She gets out the little juice pouch and pulls out the label, and it's just grape juice.
Right. It's like a little juice pack that kids would have.
Which is great.
You also catch that the woman voicing the lead character's adopted mother, that was the son from Lost.
From Lost, nice.
So.
I did not catch that.
So there's about, 5 or 6 very catchy songs.
Very catchy songs. Yep.
And this is coming from people who are none of us, K-pop aficionados.
Nope.
We have anything against it? I probably heard a little bop here and there, and like, well, that's pretty good, but not my thing. But I was like, these are pretty good enough that I was like, I'm going to drop a few of these on the store playlist.
Yeah, I dropped a couple onto my playlist.
I think we all liked them, and they're all earworm type songs.
Yeah.
They stick in your head.
The other sort of side of the story in it is that you see a fair amount of their rival band. What are they called?
Oh man, Sanja Boys.
Or Saja Boys.
Saja Boys.
Yeah. And in particular, their lead singer is this very kind of hot dude. Connects up with our... he himself, of course, is a demon. You see occasional glimpses of, like, the demon world, and he's, like, a little bit kind of on the outs with, like, kind of the demon lord guy. Whose name escapes me, but is, like, a big bad.
There's a definite sort of romantic subplot between him and the lead of, like... But, like, is he working her, or is he actually working his boss?
Right, is he sincere or not in his, like, connection to her?
By the way, their design at the end when they've revealed their full demonness and they're like the black hats and black like cloaks is really cool.
It's really good. Yeah, they are fun bad guys. There is also are they his the blue tiger?
They just seem to come from the demon realm. They're like
they're his.
Are they his?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the three-eyed bird.
They always wears a hat.
They're super good. It's like like the best kind of Disney sidekick characters. Is this big derpy looking magical blue tiger? Which I believe I've been told is called derpy.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true or not.
I don't know if it's true either.
But is like just an amazing visual design, even though it never speaks or anything. It's just this amazing presence. It's kind of the same way Totoro is a presence in Totoro without almost saying anything.
Yeah, for sure.
Or the cat bus. He's a little reminiscent of the cat bus.
Yeah.
But
if you want to sample this without Netflix,
his name is Derpy and the bird's name is Sissy.
Okay.
If you want to sample this and you don't have Netflix, you can actually go to YouTube. You can watch, if you look up the videos for K-pop Demon Hunters, I recommend How It's Done. That's the name of the song, and it is basically the first 10 minutes of the movie, and it's a great action sequence. It's a really good music. It'll give you a vibe of what the show is like. But yeah, recommend it. I liked it.
There's clearly going to be follow-ups, and you're probably going to be hearing more about this because it's going to get a theatrical release, both on its own, just kind of as a movie, and then there's going to be versions that are sing-along versions.
Yes.
And this is probably going to accompany, I would guess, a bit of an oomph in K-pop popularity.
There's definitely going to be cosplay
because the songs,
actually, so the costumes are cool.
Costumes are great. They're very cool. the songs are by like they're real K-pop bands.
Yeah.
In fact, I think isn't like one of the songs from it is like #1 right now.
That would make sense. Yeah,
it's crazy. But yeah, I did not plan to watch this, but y'all said it was kind of catchy, and I was like, oh,
it's kind of making the rounds of like friend groups and stuff. Like
I wasn't gonna watch it either because everybody I know, like my kid watched it, several of my friends watched it, and then y'all watched it, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give it another shot, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah,
it's really fun.
Yeah, one of my a friend of mine showed it to her niece, who comes from a kind of a religious-y family, and we're like, oh, why'd you show her this girl this stuff with demons in it? I'm like, oh my god, this is the most harmless movie.
Yep.
It has a good message, by the way. There is a good thematic to it.
But it's a demon-y message.
But
Dave.
if you were worried about stuff like Narnia or Hogwarts or anything like that, then stay away.
And you should be worried about Hogwarts.
yeah, but for different reasons.
Nick, you were going to talk about Jurassic World Rebirth.
Yeah, just quickly. It's weirdly...
Speaking of things that kind of got pilloried a little bit.
Yeah, this one definitely got pilloried. This is the first Jurassic Park movie that I did not see in theaters.
Wow.
Which, not for any real reason, just...
Sometimes life gets in the way.
Just life gets in the way.
Sometimes life finds a way.
It's true. Sometimes life finds a way. It did not find the way this time to make me see it in theaters. However, I picked it up on digital, and I'm glad I did, because it doesn't reinvent the wheel. Yeah. There's some interesting...
In general, they have not tried much to do that. Since the only one that kind of reinvented the wheel was the first one.
Yeah.
And I was telling Randy the other day that I keep seeing reviews of these, because I kind of started having fun with the sequels once as of the Jurassic World series.
Yeah.
But though the way to do that is I had to sort of get to the point of view in my head where I was not like, nothing will ever kind of match the inventiveness and craft of the first one. But if you kind of just accept that these sequels are kind of fun pulp dinosaur, survival horror, horror, but survival stories, and with sometimes some interesting tweaks to them, you can have some fun with it. You just, I think, have to have realistic expectations.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, Nick, with those in mind, and I've kind of liked something about almost all of the sequels now, how does it hold up?
I think it holds up pretty well. I think there are individual scenes that are really fun. They are well-crafted, fun, like, chase sequences.
Mm-hmm. Oh, concept-wise, so in the last one, that was like the big exploration of the dinosaurs had gotten loose into the world at the end of the previous one, and now we're like integrated. You could be out in a park. Like the police might shut down an area because there's a predator dinosaur loose, or a big brachiosaur is wandering through the forest.
Yeah.
There's also illegal trade in them. People who were essentially doing like cockfighting type arenas with dinosaurs. Sure. There was exploitation, and I thought there were some pretty clever ideas in there, but also that had a kind of a weak core plot about like mutant bred locusts that I don't think anybody was really into.
Nah, it was okay.
It was an evil InGen plot that wasn't completely.
There's always got to be an evil corporation involved in any Jurassic Park.
At least they know who the real villains
are. It's
true.
So
I don't remember quite how that all ended, but the dinosaurs were still integrated in the world. Is that still the case?
So the big plot device is this: dinosaurs are slowly dying.
Okay.
Because of, believe it or not, climate change.
Okay.
So they have basically migrated to certain parts of the world that have become like no-go zones. You don't go there.
You mean because they have climate problems?
Well, no, that's where the dinosaurs have all congregated.
Oh, I see. I see.
It's usually like near the equator.
Okay.
It's near the equator because that's where the warmer air is.
Zones.
Exactly.
Okay, that's a solidly kind of good pulp premise.
And kind of the world has kind of stopped caring about dinosaurs,
right?
And moved on a little bit.
Yep.
Dinosaur exhibits are kind of
ho-hum.
They're ho-hum. They're boring for kids nowadays.
Right.
But their advancements in medical technology, because of dinosaurs, because of some of like the aspects of their ability to adapt and things like that,
okay.
And this leads to another evil corporation, not InGen, a new one, wanting to kind of capitalize on that, but they need DNA samples from the 3 largest dinosaurs that are still around.
Okay.
Which is the mosasaur,
yep,
a titanosaur,
okay,
and a giant It's a certain type of pterodactyl.
Is a Titanosaur like a kind of a T-Rex-ish type dinosaur?
No, Titanosaur is weirdly like a kind of larger brachiosaur.
Oh, okay.
That's got a weird kind of tail. I don't.
Oh, right. I remember that from the
Is that the
trailer.
crazy whip tail?
Yeah.
It's like a long sort
So
of...
I will say this island also has a lot of mutant dinosaurs. Like they were messing with like.
Is there
DNA
one that has a
sequencing.
tail that is an ankylosaur that has another tail that is a T-Rex that has a tail?
No,
that
but there is an
ball?
ankylosaur, and I was very excited because those are cool.
They are the coolest.
But
and by the way, well used on that Jurassic Park cartoon.
yeah, so. And this leads us to our main characters. There's basically two stories that intersect.
Okay.
There's the scientist that I thought was a nice little Easter egg that he studied under Alan Grant.
Okay.
So they keep that involved.
Yep.
There's Scarlett Johansson, who's basically like a mercenary.
Okay.
She's kind of on the outs with her...
Just one of those beautiful mercenaries you meet sometimes.
Yep, but she's a little on the outs with her profession. She just lost a good friend in whatever thing she was doing previously.
Not
So
a dino thing? Just like
no, just
some more or something?
Yeah, just something, and she lost a friend.
Okay.
So she's kind of dealing with that. And then Mahershala Ali is her friend that is kind of a, will get you wherever you need to go, and then there is a separate thing where a family is on like a boating expedition and gets shunted into this area where they should not have gone.
Okay.
And
So you got rando innocent family,
Yep.
and then some mercs hired to go and get these dinosaurs by Sleazy Corporation.
Yep, by Sleazy Corporation.
Right.
And a sleazy corporate guy comes
Is it so that they can do some kind of? Do they want to get the lock on some sort of drugs that can be made from them or something?
and basically make tons of money.
Right.
It's not the most complicated story, but
That's a solid premise. It sounds like it doesn't get into too many twists like Megan 2.
no,
With Megan
it's
2.
pretty upfront about what it is and goes into sort of dino survival mode. And honestly, the scenes are great.
Yeah.
There is a T-Rex scene that I'm like, was straight out of the first book of Creighton's actual book.
Yeah.
And if you know what the one I'm talking about, where
I'm pretty sure I do.
then you're like, oh, that's really cool. Why haven't they done this sooner?
Yeah.
I thought it was really well done. I thought the effects were
and they've done this
above.
a few times where something that didn't quite make it from there, like the pterodactyl aviary or whatever, wasn't in the first Jurassic Park movie, but was a part of the book, and they would end up sneaking it in.
These
later.
pterodactyls are mean.
Yeah.
They're like the size of an F-16.
Right.
And not to be messed with. I think the coolest sequence is the Mosasaur.
Yep.
And trying to get like a blood sample from them. But
Right. I realized I saw them in the trailer, but it hadn't occurred to me that they were one of the ones that they were going to have to try.
But
and get,
evolution
like,
has evolved again, and now the Mosasaur has friends. So that kind of hunt with the Mosasaur.
Oh yeah, this is
And-
briefly mentioned in one of the trailers. They have like hangers on.
Well, it's the Spinosaur.
Oh,
and the Spinosaur is not only a water dinosaur; it's also a land. So it's an awesome sequence that I think. I don't know. I really had fun with the sequences. The overall story was fun. It was fine, and they definitely did a lot of callbacks to a lot of the movies of like, what they do in Star Wars with like all their running gags and stuff like that. I'm okay with that. It's a buy-in at this point.
Right. So set expectations moderate, and one might just enjoy
I
this movie.
had a really fun time with this,
Nice.
and I think part of that is I know that Scarlett Johansson apparently really loves the movies and wanted to be in one, so that kind of energy got translated a little bit to the screen, which I thought was good.
That's cool.
And Mahershala Ali is great.
Yeah.
It's a good cast, and it was fun.
All right. That'll wrap it up for us this week. We'll be back next week with more. And until that time,
Yo, Joe.
Roguecast is a weekly podcast broadcast from Rogues Gallery Comics and Games in Round Rock, Texas. You can find us online on Facebook and at www.roguesgallerytx.com and email us comments or questions at roguesgallerytx@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.